Welcome to this channel where we explore all things mycology and so much more. From a single nucleus to cultures we create, experimentation and innovation is never too late. Join me on this adventure where follow science plays.
Thank you for joining me today. Well, today I'm going to show you something that I've been working on, and it involves these 1.3 quart containers. I got these containers off from Temu, and what makes these containers stand out, as you can see, it's got the P5 rating. It has it on the lid, it has it marked on the latches, and it has it marked on the bottom. So these are able to go through the pressure cooker. And I already sent this one through the pressure cooker 2 months ago. I ran it for 2 hours. I haven't seen any signs of contamination, and we will open this up here soon. So the idea behind this is I normally run 6 quart shoe boxes, and you can see there's quite the difference in the size, and that's the whole idea. I want to dial my grows down when I'm doing Pacific breeding projects, so I can keep right on a rolling. As the spores drop, we just keep going. With doing these containers, I could have my substrate made ahead of time. When I do my spawn jars, I do 1 pound grain jars, and I'm curious to either do 1 jar, 2 tubs, or possibly 1 jar, 4 tubs. There's still a lot of experimentation to be done. So another couple of features is, say, like once we spawn the bulk during the fruiting stage, we want to give it more air. You could do the normal, flip the lid over, set the lid off at an angle, but you can also close these clasps, and that elevates that lid just enough to get a little gap of fresh air. I think using the latch for fresh air will give me consistent results. The other thing is, we can also dub tub it like a normal 6 quart. I also figured this out. You take a 1 gallon Ziploc bag, cut that zipper off. You could have your own humidity dome from it, and they're reusable. In case you're wondering if it holds a seal, so I think it would work pretty good at keeping the contaminants out while it's colonizing. So this is an option too. So the first thing we got to do is, I think we can fit 4 at a time in here. Now if we take our grow container, leave it unlatched, we can set it in there. We can set 2 that way, and we can set 2 this way. And that way we can run 4 containers at a time. So I'll add this to the stove, and I'll see you over to the sink. So we got our pan ready to go. Let's add our substrate. Another reason why I'm excited about this is these smaller tubs. They're perfect for using up these leftovers. When I prepare like larger runs, I end up with these leftovers a lot, and you know, now I'm going to make use of them and also be able to advance my breeding projects all in one shot. So since like some of these bags, like this one here is like a month old, That one's like a week old. So once we get them in here, we'll assess if we're gonna heat them up on the stove or just send them into sterilization. Like, I'm not against adding it to adding some water, but damn, that's pretty good the way it is. So I got actually a little more moisture than I want. It works out good because one bag was really dry. So since we're gonna do a 1-to-2 ratio, if we're gonna use a ½ pound of spawn, then we need 1 pound of substrate. Let's see where that takes us. Let's put a pound in there and see what we get. That's about 7.4 ounces. That's not going to give us our pound whatsoever. So if we did 1/4 pound, we put 8 ounces in here, we might get away with a 1/4 pound to ½ pound of spawn. So let's do ½ pound of substrate to a 1/4 pound of spawn. I think that's what we're going to do. Since these are hydrated pretty decent, we're just going to run them. Well, ain't that something? That's absolutely all of our CBG. We'll wipe down the side and just dust off our lid, and we'll let the pressure cooker do the rest. Make sure it's nice and level. So we got all of our containers ready to go. So now our pressure cooker is ready. We got it preheated. And what we're going to do, we're going to add our containers, but we're not going to latch it. We'll keep them unlatched, and we'll latch them after the run is over. So there's 1, 2, and then we'll put the second ones crossway. So we got the bottoms going one direction, and then we got the top going a different direction. And for a little added protection, I'm going to set some aluminum foil over the containers, and then we can put our steamer plate on top to keep everything nice and cozy. And then we're going to set this 15 psi, and we'll run this for 2 hours. See you in 2 hours. Now our run is done. See how everything turned out. We'll collapse these quick. We do got a lot of excess water. I'm referring to the condensation on the lids. We'll set these down. Clasp our lids. And that's not too bad. Now that seeing difference in the condensation, it's because this area is cooled down. So if I would have pulled it maybe right after it was done, where I could touch it, the lids might have came out like that. And, you know, possibly if it started condensating like this, we could probably just go get some of that water off. We'll test it with this one. Just gotta break that water tension without doing that to the lid. But that core looks really good. It's not compact, it looks really fluffy. And you know, we might get a ½ pound of grain spawn in there. So next time we're going to be a little quicker pulling these from the pressure cooker when they're done. So let's get these over to the table. You can definitely tell that these ones were on the bottom and these ones are on the top just by that condensation. And since we flicked this one, put a little reminder there. So since we got this heavy condensation, we'll chalk it up to a learning experience. So now that we got substrate done, onto the grains we go. So now we're back up in front of the purified flow. We got our substrate and containers, and another star to the show. And this is our spawn we're going to use. This is a grain jar. It's been force hydrated popcorn, and this jar is beyond a break and shake, and it actually didn't get a break and shake, and that's why I'm doing this jar separate, and I figure it would fit right in with this experiment. So this is a 1 pound jar. We got ½ pound substrate, so we're going to take 1/4 of this jar and add it to each one. So I decided I'm not going to use any of my lids because I got 4 more containers. So what I'm just going to do is take and just spray the heck out of them. And then while we're doing the spawn and stuff, we'll give it time to evaporate. It's gonna break up our grain. Wow, that's beautiful. Mix up our spawn. Kind of get an idea what it's all going to be like in volume wise, so I can guess better. Those claps are good. Alrighty, I was holding my breath on that one. Now we just got to mix it in. I'm going to do these the same way I did my last 6-quart container grow. I didn't use a pseudo casing, and I'm not going to use one on these. Let's do our flicked one first. Maybe keep one hand clean and one hand not. Yeah, we could have got away with more spawn. I'm just going to poke my kernels down here and there and just level my surface area. There we go. Yeah. So I'm just continuing to push the grain down. I feel a big kernel at the surface. Just push it down a little bit and just brush the core over it and just get these surface conditions leveled out. And you don't want to push down hard, just make sure everything has good contact with each other. Getting better at locking these clasps one-handed. So next time we're gonna up the amount of substrate and spawn. I don't know. If we go flush with these, we might be able to get 1 pound of substrate and ½ pound of spawn. That would be nice. Another thing that I'm gonna give this a try. Now imagine these being used as PFF tech. We did them PF style or brown rice flour. Let these fully colonize, flip them out in the water, let them hydrate, roll them in vermiculite, and do them just like PF. I'm not against that either. So there's our 4th one. Now that I got the lids and these all done at the same time, I'm going to take a friend's suggestion and not try to do too much at once. Let's just do these with normal lids. You know, I got a little bit of core on this one. It should make a difference, but maybe it does. We got ½ pound of substrate in each one of these containers, and we got a ¼ pound of spawn in these containers of force hydrated popcorn, and then we're running a wombat tat. If I have any heavy condensation on the lid, maybe that's where we will try other things. So for right now, since we got these all set, we'll add these to the tent. They'll sit right around 74 to 72 degrees. And then a week or so, we'll see how this experiment goes. So I'll end this here. And when we get some growth to show or anything that is out of the normal, we'll update this in a week. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any comments, please leave them below. Please like, share, and subscribe so you are notified. Have a great day.